In a small, bustling town in northern India, nestled between the emerald green foothills of the Himalayas, there lived a bright and curious girl named Priya. Priya was only 15, but she had already developed a reputation for being resourceful, creative, and an excellent problem solver. Her love for learning had earned her the respect of her teachers and peers alike. However, there was one thing that Priya sometimes overlooked in her eagerness to get things done: the temptation to cut corners. One summer, the local school announced a highly anticipated science fair, and students from all grades were invited to participate. Priya, always excited for new challenges, immediately decided to enter. She had already been thinking of a project, a small, solar-powered water purifier that could help her village solve the issue of clean drinking water. It was an idea she had long been passionate about, and she knew it would make a real difference in her community. But the closer the fair came, the more overwhelmed Priya became. She had 100 things on her plate: schoolwork, household chores, and preparing for the fair. With only a week left before the big day, she felt the pressure mounting. The thought of not finishing on time gnawed at her, and she realized that some parts of her project still needed refinement. Priya had always been meticulous with her work, but this time, the clock was ticking, and she felt like she couldn't afford to be as thorough as she would have liked. One afternoon, as she sat in her room staring at her half-built water purifier, an idea crossed her mind. What if I just skip a few of the smaller steps, she thought. I can still make it work. It's just a small change, no one will notice. Priya had always prided herself on getting results quickly, and she had always believed that taking shortcuts was a sign of efficiency. So, she decided to cut a few corners. She would skip testing one of the more complicated parts of the purifier, and instead, rely on the parts she had already assembled, hoping that it would be good enough. The days flew by, and Priya barely had time to test the final prototype before the fair. She hurriedly put everything together, proud of the work she had done. Her water purifier, with its sleek solar panel and compact design, looked perfect. It was everything she had envisioned. She thought about how impressive it would be when the judges saw it and how her classmates would be amazed by the brilliant solution she had come up with. The morning of the fair arrived, and Priya stood by her booth with a smile, watching as the judges walked from project to project. When they stopped in front of hers, she confidently explained how the purifier worked, how it could harness solar energy to filter dirty water and turn it into clean drinking water. The judges nodded appreciatively, and Priya's heart swelled with pride. I think they're impressed, she thought. But little did she know, the true test of her project had yet to come. Later in the day, as the fair opened to the public, people began to gather around her booth. Priya eagerly invited a few of her friends to try out the water purifier. She had set up a small basin of dirty water nearby, hoping to show off the effectiveness of her creation. As she flipped the switch to turn on the solar panel, she noticed something strange. The panel flickered for a moment, then shut off completely. Priya's heart sank. She tried again, but this time, the purifier sputtered to life for just a few seconds before going silent. Panic started to creep in. What's wrong? She whispered to herself. Her friends stood silently, watching in confusion. Priya didn't know what to do. She quickly pulled out her toolkit and began to troubleshoot, checking wires and connections, but nothing seemed to work. The more she fiddled with it, the more it seemed to fall apart. Her stomach twisted with embarrassment. She realized then that she had skipped an important test to ensure the circuit's stability, and now it was showing. The judges were still nearby, observing. Priya felt her face flush with embarrassment as they approached her. Is everything all right, Priya? One of the judges asked kindly, though there was a hint of concern in her voice. Priya tried to muster a smile, but it felt forced. Yes, it's just a minor issue. I think the circuit is malfunctioning. She looked at the project in frustration, feeling like the effort she had put into it had been wasted. Her heart sank as she realized the damage had already been done. Her friends, who had once been impressed by her ingenuity, were now questioning why the purifier wasn't working as expected. Later that evening, after the fair ended, Priya returned home feeling defeated. She sat down on her bed, staring at the broken purifier in front of her. The excitement she had felt just days before had faded, replaced with the heavy weight of disappointment. Her mother, sensing her distress, entered the room and sat beside her. "You look troubled, Priya," her mother said gently. Priya sighed and explained what had happened. "I thought I could just cut a few corners to save time. I didn't test everything like I should have, and now it's broken." Her mother listened quietly, then placed a hand on Priya's shoulder. "I know you wanted to finish quickly, but sometimes, cutting corners leads to bigger problems. You were trying to save time, but in the end, you lost more time trying to fix something that wasn't ready." Priya nodded, realizing her mistake. Her mother continued, "When you take shortcuts, especially with something that's meant to help others, you risk not only your work but also the trust people place in you. It's okay to be efficient, but always remember that taking the time to do things right is what makes something truly valuable." The next day, Priya went back to the science fair to check on her project. The judges had already moved on to other projects, but she still felt the sting of failure. She took the purifier home, determined to fix the issue. She spent the next several days carefully testing each part, ensuring everything was in perfect working order. She didn't rush through it this time. When she finally rebuilt the water purifier, it worked flawlessly. Priya realized that the extra time she spent getting everything right was not wasted. It had made her project better, stronger, and more reliable. A month later, the school hosted a community event where Priya was invited to present her water purifier to the villagers. She shared the full story of how she had worked through the challenges and fixed her project, emphasizing the importance of doing things the right way. The villagers were impressed, not just by her invention but by her honesty and dedication to making things work. That day, Priya learned a valuable lesson. Cutting corners might seem like a quick way to get things done, but it could lead to bigger problems down the road. Taking the time to do things right, even if it takes longer, would always be the better choice. And sometimes, the hardest lessons are the ones that teach us the most.
Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more interesting videos and to help the channel grow. Thanks.